No gold is not in her. She's a
Hello everyone, it's Architecture and Design Studio. In today's tutorial we will carry out modeling our house starting from our ground floor layout, as you can see in this 3D window. If you have missed the previous tutorial, I will leave the link down below in the description and I would recommend you to go and check it out. Also, we will be talking about what's the difference between the basic wall and the composite one, and we will dedicate another tutorial for the complex profile wall settings. We have created our foundation and footings, as you can see, along with our suspended floor. So if we go to our section, you can see that we have 150mm void as a minimum under UK's regulation, and that's our different skins of our slab. If we go back to our 3D model, you will see that we've got our laminated parquet followed by the screed and then insulation membrane to end up with the precast beams and blocks. So to be able to start drawing our external walls, what we will do first thing is go into our floor plan. Then we go to our left panel and you select the wall tool, wall dialog, and under geometry and positioning you will see that the basic wall is already set up by default in ArchiCAD. And when you open the underneath window, you will see the different building materials. We've got from brick all the way down to iron, aluminium, etc. I am not going through them in this exercise, but I will stick with a brick finish, as I want my elevation to have a brick from the outside, and that's where you change your wall thickness, as this one's supposed to be a cavity wall, and I'm happy to give it a 300mm. The rest I'm gonna leave it pretty much the same, except the offset from the ground floor, which is 180, and that represents the slab in the front. About the reference, this is the reference line from where you're gonna start drawing your walls. Is it from the outside or from the inside, or you start just from the center? And because I have my grid ready, I would love to use the center to be more accurate. So you hit OK for now. You might go to this panel and you use the second option. You zoom in and you start drawing your walls. You might need to hold Shift command to have your wall straight, and of course you can zoom in and zoom out to be more precise. Here we go. Once you finish, you've got your wall already in the 2D plan, and if you want to see that in 3D, you go to your marquee tool, first click, second click, right click with your mouse, going all the way down and show the selection, or you might use your keyboard or shortcut and you just hit F5 or Command 5 or Control 5, it depends on which laptop are you using. Here we go, that's your walls in 3D. And obviously if you want to have a different material or inside surface, what you can do, you select your walls, then you go to wall dialog, under model you uncheck one of the skins and you give them a different color. I'm happy with white for now, and here you go. And when we go to our section, here we see that our wall are in their place, but the problem is when you want to do some documentation for some details, you can see that the different layers, it doesn't show because the basic wall has just one surface. Obviously, if you want a quick way to fix that, you can still use your fill tool and you can create that manually, as you can see. Here we go, and then you pick another surface which is insulation, maybe like that, and here we go. But when you go to the other side, you have to do it unfortunately manually for each one of them, and that's where the second option is here for, the one that we spoke about earlier in the beginning of the tutorial, our composite wall. And what we're gonna do for now, let's go back and take the override surface. Here we go. What we do next is reaching out our wall tool, then wall dialog, and then under geometry and positioning we will pick the second option, which is the composite. And under this window you will see the different wall composite by default in ArchiCAD, but you can still create your own one, and I'll show you how to do that. For the sake of this exercise, I have created this external wall for tutorial, but once we pick that, you can see that we cannot change the wall thickness, and I'll show you where to do that. You hit OK for now. Then what we do, we select our walls. You either go to your wall dialog or you just scroll down on this palette. Basically it has pretty much the same setting as the wall dialog, but for this exercise we're just going to use the wall dialog all the time. What you do, you select your wall composite and then you pick your wall, you hit OK, and that's straight away gonna change. To be able to change the thickness, we go to our option, element attribute, going all the way down to composites. So then you open the window and you will see the different composite walls as I showed you earlier. Here is our external wall, and that's where you can change the thickness. And that's where the magic is when it comes to composite wall. You can insert different skins, but it's still gonna be under the same wall, and you can give them a different building materials. Here we go. Gonna use our insulation, insert another one and give it a block concrete texture, and the total thickness will be displayed right in here. If you want to delete, you can still delete that and add any skin, and you can pick the building materials. Once you're happy with the result, you can press OK, and that's automatically will show without even selecting your walls. And you can see that your cavity wall has the brick from the outside and the blocks from the inside. And if you want to see the different skins in 3D, what you can do, you just select your walls, go to your wall dialog, scroll down to model, and you uncheck the override surface. You press OK, and you can see that in the 3D as well. And if you go to your floor plan, you will see that in your floor plan as well. Knowing that your wall didn't change, the position is still in the center. And when we go to our section, we will see that our wall matches exactly the previous one that we made, and it's easy basically to document each part of our project without using the fill tool. Some people might wonder how to cover our wall skin when we are just in the design stage, because they want to share that with their clients and have a quick render, 2D render. The quickest way, I'll show it to you right now, but I will dedicate a tutorial just for that. I've seen some people using basically the fill tool, which I don't really recommend that to anyone as it's time consuming and it's not accurate. There you go, and then you go all the way around. That's basically half of a day if you can do that one by one. And if you have, let's say, a building, you don't want to really go through it one by one, but instead you go to your document and then graphic override, or you can just go basically from this window and then you create kind of a new layer, and we will call it 2D wall cover. You press OK, then you add a new one. I've got already one in here, but I will create another one. Let's say wall cover. Here we go. Okay, so then there is the edit button in here. You go to this window. Once again, you will choose which of the elements you want to override. For our exercise, we will choose the wall. Then you go all the way down to fill type, and then you choose a background and you give it a color. We're going to give it a lighter one, and I'm happy with this one. Once you finish, you press OK, and it's basically straight away, and that will be the case for all your floors. If you want to and check that, what you do, you go to your layers in here and then no override, and here you go. I hope these tips will help you save time. Thank you so much for watching. I will keep designing my ground floor layout, and I'll show you how the result will be. Put in some furnitures, and I will dedicate another tutorial just for the kitchen and how you design your kitchen using the different ways. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and do not forget to subscribe, as this one will help the channel to grow, and I will see you in the next tutorial.
I know gold is not enough.